If nothing
check.
else for the public's
check.
edification.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the July 17th meeting.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, June 17th meeting of the Board of Elections. I would ask you to join us in stating the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Let me pause for a moment while Timothy takes his seat. Mhm. Everyone get a chance to take a look at the agenda for today's meeting?
Yes.
If so, the chair will entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
moved.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record show it's unanimously approved. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from the from the May 20th meeting? If so, the chair will now entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Any comments or questions? Well, I'll call for the question. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record show it was unanimously approved. We're now at a point in times for the meeting for public comments. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment to the board or make a presentation to the board at this time? Being none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Are there any online comments?
There were not any submitted online.
Okay,
No, sir.
meeting is moving along rather rapidly.
Yes, it is.
Sarah, we'll turn it over to you now for the director's comments.
Okay. So I have a few things. I think the board is all aware, but this is the last official meeting with the current board as it exists today. As you are aware, on June 24th, new board members will be appointed. So the way that is going to look as of today, right now, which is 2:02 PM. The appointments for 4 of the members will come from the,
That's rain.
oh, is that?
Raining. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Sorry, that really distracted me. I thought it was like the air conditioner or something. So state board will make appointments for 4 members, 2 from each party. That will take place on June 24th. On that same date, the auditor will appoint the chair of the Board of Elections. So I do not yet know what the makeup of the board, who's going to be on the board. And so I should find that out. The public should find that out on the 24th, which is next Tuesday. From the 24th through July 22nd, when the new board is sworn in, we do not have a board to take any action. I do not anticipate that being a problem as we don't have anything pending before the board. But just so everyone's aware, from June 24th to July 7th, we do not have a sitting Board of Elections.
July 22nd?
July 22nd at noon.
Thank you.
So the organizational meeting will take place in this room at noon on July 7th. Or I'm sorry, July 18th.
22nd.
No, 22nd. I am so sorry.
Have we asked any of the judges to do the? swearing in?
I am waiting on one to be assigned to us. I spoke with Judge Disbro. He's not available. He's going to find someone for us.
Okay.
Hmm?
Nothing. Go, that's fine. Thank you.
So I don't yet know who will do that swearing in for us. The other item is just so everyone's aware, and this is where I was getting all those dates from. Municipal election filing begins on July 7th at noon and it goes through July 18th at noon. So that is for the 19 towns, 2 sanitary districts and the Dozier Hospital Board. So filing for those seats will take place in July.
And just for the edification of the audience, those are all essentially
Nonpartisan. Yes, those are
positions.
nonpartisan elections.
Thank you.
And nonpartisan does not mean that the person running is not affiliated with the party. It just means that they are not running on behalf of a party. The party doesn't go on the ballot, anything like that.
Very
Okay.
good. Thank you.
So I do have a few other updates that I just wanted to provide. As you know, earlier this year, we were approved for a full-time position, an election specialist position to assist us with managing all of the administrative functions for precinct officials. We have made a selection and hired someone to fill that role. She is slated to start on Monday. So at our next meeting, I will try to have her come over and participate in your swearing in and let the board members meet the staff. I usually try to have everybody over here if possible. So that's pretty exciting. And we've also selected someone to be a permanent part-time person through election season to conduct poll worker training. And it's actually a former precinct official that reached out and expressed interest in helping with that. We conducted an interview with her and I think she's going to be a great fit. So I think we're going to be in good shape for the upcoming election as far as poll workers go.
Who might that be?
The poll worker?
Yeah.
Cheryl Wilson? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sarah,
Yes.
Adrienne sent me a message with a quick clarification.
Uh-huh.
Candidate filing begins July 7th at 8:30, not.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
See?
Glad she's watching.
I know. I should have let her review my agenda before I put it together. The other item is the county commissioners last night did approve the budget. I have not yet had time to
review it as it just came to me about an hour ago by email. But I can share that they did approve a mid-year hire, which will be somewhere around January, for a voter outreach and communications coordinator. So that will be someone dedicated to public information request, website updates, outreach events, educating the public, all of those sorts of functions.
Super, super.
And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. That's
Good news for a
quite
change, yeah.
positive. Yes, yes, very much so. Any comments, any questions of Sarah? Anybody? Okay. In terms of unfinished business, we'll move to that.
Mr. Chairman, if I might. Sarah, we've added now 2 full-time staff members? Is that,
Currently, yes,
Current,
that we have.
this year.
Yes.
okay,
Well, yes, two.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Randy, why don't you continue? Go ahead and talk about the managing the voter growth.
For some time, I have had a concern about how we as an organization, the board and the staff together, we're going to manage the growth of our voter rolls and the voter registration in the county. And Sarah and I spoke at length about that the other day, and the first thing I told her was I didn't want to step on her toes in any way. That, you know, she is the director and she manages it, but I still have a concern about how we as an organization are going to go forward in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years to manage the growth in the county. You know, we're up to 138,433 as of this report. When I joined the board in 2013, I believe we were at about 82 or 83,000, if I recall correctly. Mr. Smith, being here longer, probably has a much lower number when he started. It's just, you know, it's a matter of, I personally don't think that 25 or 26 precincts is going to carry us going into the future. The number of recommended voters per precinct, Sarah, from the state is
There's no such thing.
no such thing? Okay. I wanted to say, I thought it was 2,500.
Well, they used to have a recommendation. That was many, many years ago. I think it's hard for the state to provide a number like that because different counties have different early voting turnout. You know, it can't really be looking just at the number of registered voters. So
Okay.
to my knowledge, the state board has not provided a number for that for many years.
guideline.
Do
Okay.
you recall anything recently where we were given any kind of number like that? Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It was around 2,000.
Yeah. And, you know, we've got some precincts we're pushing 6,000, 7,000.
Right.
8 or 9,000.
Is it maybe that many? I don't know. I just think this is going to be a process that we're going to have to work on for years and years going forward. And I think the staff is going to have their hands full with so many things that if the staff can rely on some guidance and some thought and expertise just because of the experiences of the board members, that it may be helpful in managing that process. So I've asked Sarah to try to include that. You know, how many precincts do we have? Where do we vote? That's the biggest challenge, I think. Budget and maybe some kind of a long-range plan. That's what my concern was, and that's what I spoke with Sarah about, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys.
Okay. And I can just provide some where we are right now with trying to respond to Randy's request. I have been made aware through administration that the planning department has just put together a residential development dashboard. It is brand new. It was actually presented to the county commissioners last night at their meeting. So I haven't had a chance to really dig into that, but I am working and have left a message to schedule a meeting with the planning department to talk about that dashboard, to see how we can utilize it, to make sure we understand its functionalities. I think one of the important things to note is that that dashboard only covers unincorporated areas and the city of Northwest. So the other municipalities, we would have to kind of monitor on our own. There was some direction and discussion at the end of that presentation last night where one of the commissioners asked that there be some coordination with the municipality so that maybe we could get an all-in-one dashboard. I don't know what that's going to look like, so it may not be something that we can, you know, expect to happen. So I do think that's a step in the right direction, that we can know what the county is approving, you know, where building status is, how many units will be coming. So hopefully I can get a meeting set up with them. And I will say that we are always talking about internally buildings, possible polling places. We read in the paper that something's going up and being built, and we're wondering what kind of parking it's going to have. So we're sort of always in a function where we're looking for suitable polling places. I do think that's something where having the help of board members, getting the assistance from the county commissioners, because of course the commissioners represent different areas geographically of the county. We don't know everything that's going on in the county. So I think that's going to be really a group effort trying to identify possible locations, because we can split precincts all day long, but if we don't have a suitable facility to put the precinct in, it doesn't do us any good. So
Understood. And Neil, and that's, like I say, that's probably our biggest challenge.
it is the biggest challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, in the example that I gave to Sarah the other day that I used, and I'm sure that up in the north end that you've got probably bigger units. In what was, when I moved here, a tobacco and cornfield is going to be 3,000 plus living units, which would translate to probably 6,000 voters between 904 and 17 across from McDonald's, if anybody's familiar with that, running all the way over to P. Landing Road by Jessie May Monroe School. I think currently that's at least partially Longwood. It may be one of the shingle trees over by Jessie May. And you know, you can't dump 6,000 more voters into the Longwood Fire Department. It's not going to work. And so, you know, and it's going to take them years to build that, but it may take us years to find a place for them to vote. So. Yeah. So,
Very similar by making.
yeah, I'm sure that you probably have bigger units going in up
Well,
your
we
way.
have, right now we have 8,000 going right off of 74.
Okay,
So it's two different developments that total 8,000 units between the two.
well,
Well, I think, Belleville 3, Brunswick Forest, it's still got a lot of growth. I think
Mhm.
they're
All those apartments they just put in.
to get to, well over 10,000
Mhm.
units. So it's going to outgrow facility there also.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes.
And all those little ones driving down 17 and 74.
Yeah,
Right.
and the problem is there
100,000.
aren't that many public facilities that work. And when we look at a lot of these neighborhoods, many of them have some kind of clubhouse, but they may not be willing to let us use it. And if it's a private facility, there is nothing we can do about that. I think we ended up getting lucky with Brunswick Forest in that the residents raised enough of a stink that finally we were able to open that dialogue and reach an agreement and an understanding that we could use it. But, you know, private facilities, really, we don't have a lot of leeway with, other than pleading, offering to pay
Begging
rent,
you.
you know, things like that. So public facilities are always ideal and what we would choose if we have a choice and have options, but we just don't have options.
And by the way, Sarah, the county's residential development dashboard, that's online and available to the public.
Yes, it's on the planning department's webpage. I can send an email to you after this meeting with a link to it. I can also send you a link to the commissioners meeting last night where they did the presentation if you wanted to watch it, and just tell you where to start the video at. That's how I did not attend the meeting last night, but I watched it this morning. So if you wanted to just see their overview that they gave on what it provides.
Thank you. Yes, I would appreciate seeing it.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Mr. Chair, I was,
One second.
we're talking about all of this and needing locations. It's almost to the point where we need to build our own facilities. I just wanted to say that, throw that out there. We can't find anything anywhere else.
Well,
How about some military tents?
Haunted hut,
It,
Could you help us with that?
Mediums and.
I do know that tents like that were utilized in the mountains after Helene in the
Right.
fall last year. Some locations did have to utilize a essentially probably like an army type tent that was secure, had air conditioning, all of those factors. I think that was through emergency management, though. I don't know what the process to procure those for ourselves would look like.
It's, I think we need to literally think outside the box or outside the public building, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
there may be, obviously, voting centers may be part of the solution too. So going forward,
Say that again.
voting centers. Essentially just taking the early voting concept and moving it to election day. So.
Other comments? Next item on the agenda is new business. I notice on the agenda you have none, Sarah?
No,
New business.
no, sir.
Any other comments? Well, I have a closing comment that I'd like to make, but anyone else before we adjourn?
I've got nothing.
Thing I'd like to do is for the last several years, I've been blessed and you all have blessed me to be the chairperson of the board. The next board, Sarah said, will be announced soon. And I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank the board members and definitely I want to thank the staff for your support that you've given me, as well as to the citizens of this county for your support. I feel blessed, put it that way. Really, really, really blessed. And
so do we.
I was just gonna say, I think
Yeah.
we all feel blessed as well. You've been a wonderful chair.
thank you very much.
I would echo that.
I look forward to working with whoever the new chair is. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. The chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Any questions? All in favor of the motion to adjourn, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.
Right.
Some of our past.